enjoy my stab at a Delta blues song. As I might have mentioned on this program, uh, I've always had a big appreciation for that kind of music and all types of blues, country music, rock and roll, early rock and roll. And I want to also share my love for music on this channel and playing music. I used to do that semi-professionally, nothing crazy. But I want to start doing segments where it's more just a relaxing talk and playing about whatever, freeform style. It don't have to be crazy, whatever. But yeah, man, I think the word of the day for me is just kindness. Uh, there's so much going on, and I think we lose sight of the key ingredients of what makes a really safe and good, strong rooted society. And it's not necessarily the things that one side may hate and the other side cherishes, but I think the word it is kindness. I think we're seeing a lot lack of kindness in the world, and we don't necessarily know statistically how many people may not want to be suicidal or depressed if just one person said something nice to them that day, or held a door for them, or complimented them on a new sweater they were wearing, or some type of art or work they are working on. And I don't think people nearly realize just how important these things are in everyday life. In my region, especially in Long Island, New York, it's very rare to see people that are kind of humbly uh, kind. There's a lot of wonderful people here, just like any other place in the country or the world. But it's a predominantly uh, aggressive kind of status-driven um, undertone for where you have people that come from all different backgrounds, but financially it's kind of middle class, but always, you know, struggling to be more than what they really are financially, and um, showboating and stuff like that. And it's more of a ride or get rolled on feel the last 10, 12 years. And it's not really a place for hippie types or free thinking people lately. People that just really want to enjoy the simpler things in life. I think we really, as a society, we lost sight of that stuff. We did. I mean, I think everyone should have one day out of the week where they go, wow, I just opened my eyes and I hear the spring birds chirping and the sun's coming through my window. And really just think for a second about how many people didn't get to see that this morning. And I think right there is your answer. I think right there is the answer that everything else is extra. It's a bonus. That's the main ingredient. You woke up. You should almost be like Jimmy Stewart at the end of A Beautiful Life. Like he's just, not that we all have like money to hand out and stuff, but at least like just be happy that like, even if you didn't awaken from a bad dream or a prophetic dream, just there is definitely someone worse off than you that morning. And I'm not saying comparatively like that's a good thing. No one should be suffering, but the fact of the matter is that there's different levels of suffering, there's different levels of turmoil in the world, and thankfully the United States does still enjoy a large amount of freedoms and comforts and conveniences that just aren't found in other parts of the world. And a big part of losing kindness and losing this sense of uh, humbleness, humble human nature, is because we got really comfortable as a society. freedom of speech turned into no boundaries as far as no rules that are dead ends. I think as a nation, we all have to just be like, kind of have an unwritten code of honor where it's like, you know, that's ridiculous what you just said, but I know it's freedom of speech, but let's agree to disagree. I don't agree with your politics, but at the end of the day, you eat just like I eat. We both wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or to throw up if we drank too much, and we're all just trying to survive. And you got poor people that hate that rich people are rich, and you have rich people that are bored because they don't have anything to do anymore because they have all the they have money. It's like they it's a double-edged sword, and that's another thing people don't realize is that people go, well, it's easy for him to say he's got $2 billion. Well, if you had $2 billion tomorrow, would you really be fortunate? How much time will you have before life loses purpose, where you're just filling a void, when you could be rich, maybe sitting on the dock of a dry dock of a calm lake and eating a sandwich and just watching the curve of the sky with not a care in the world, and you might only just have enough money to pay your bills. And isn't that rich too? See, that's where we lose sight. Yes, inflation's really bad right now. Yes, gas prices are high. Yes, there's foreign conflicts that, again, kind of like a 20-year flashback 20 years ago when we were really worried about Middle Eastern stuff and 9/11 era. Definitely some vibes of that. We're just getting over the whole pandemic enigma, I'll call it. And, we lost sight of that whole kindness factor, definitely before the pandemic, and then we learned from people we know who's every man for themselves, who's, the real ones, who's the stand-up people that care about each other and who called you in the worst times. And, of course, those are the people that we should stay close with, but for the most part, my point I'm trying to convey is just like kindness. Kindness goes so far, and we've come to this sad state in the world where people are just confused about a kind act, and they immediately think of what you want in return for holding a door, or what. Wait a minute, it's too hard to believe that this guy just wants to pick up a bag of groceries. I dropped the contents out on the floor. Why is he doing that? That's a horrible natural reaction that we're burned in our brains to just expect that someone wants something. He's panhandling. He's homeless and he wants $5 tip. That's why he's helping me. No, kindness does exist. It really does. It's not as common as it used to be, but I try to follow that doctrine. It doesn't necessarily need to be a religious thing, and even kindness can be your religion. It could be its own little mini religion where you just it's a very simple formula. You do enough kind acts throughout the day, you're gonna make a difference in someone's life. And in a world that's so fucking void, it's so fucking void of just general kindness and conversation and acknowledging. I mean, I have people in my own apartment complex that we've never met. I've nodded hello. I've said, they just walk by you. What kind of world is that? That's not a world that I would say is anywhere near utopian. Technological advances are nothing, are dog shit, without basic human decency and respect. And I strongly believe that is the values that our country was built on. I think that's the values that we did our best to uphold the first few centuries of our young nation, which is still young, by the way, in comparison. I think that's what America is still all about, but we just need to be woken up a little bit. And I mean really woken up in a good way. And just revive those basic values. Stop with the every man for himself. Stop with the, I'm gonna get mine and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna buy, extra. I'm gonna buy 6,000 things at Costco. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy, I need a Lincoln. I can't have a Ford. I need to have a Lincoln so people think I need to have a leased car, $300 out of my monthly budget. Why? Give me a break. I will never forget when I was working as a salesman at a Ford dealership. And at that time they had one half was new cars and leases of the brand new Fords. And on the other side was a used car lot, and it was a mixture of, auction cars, trade-ins from past customers, cars they might have bought independently. And, it was some nice cars and, mixed in. But I got one woman that showed up one day, and nice enough lady, but she told me flat out, I just need something to get to work. I only got $3,000 to put down, and I really just need some wheels. And she was fairly, nicely dressed. Nothing that it would indicate that she's very poor or broke. Not that I would judge it by someone's, outfit or whatever, but just her whole cadence. She didn't strike me as someone that didn't have her stuff out of order. She was a working person. But anyway, she said, well, I just need something, Maz. Nice to meet you. I need something to get to work, 4 wheels and a seat, joking, haha. I said, that's cool. So I took her outside. We walked around the lot. And we had a really nice, it was like a 2012 Toyota RAV4. Cute car, ran beautiful, maybe 80,000 miles. She didn't, she looked it over, and we took her for a test drive. And she says, no, I can't have a Toyota. I want to look important. I got to have a BMW. Don't you have any used BMWs and Mercedes or whatever? And I look at her and I said, well, no, not in that price bracket. See, you only have $3,000 to put down. And long story short, people just don't want to hear that. Oh, well, so she's just totally exerted a blatant hypocrisy on what she came in with her initial story. Here's a woman that claims she just wanted something to get around point A to point B. I hand deliver a vehicle that's the epitome of what she needed. The right price, whatever, a few $1,000. It was really cheap. It would be paid off in no time. And she had it in her hands. And she said, no, wait a minute. And her gears started turning, and those clutches of the illusion of status started to consume her, and it got the best of her. And she said, oh no, I need a BMW, even if it's an old one. So here's a woman that it's just stick with me on this. Here's a woman that even if it was an older BMW than the Toyota RAV4, she'd rather have a older, more prone to breaking down, hard, very difficult to repair, take it from me, BMW, just because it has that name. And I just thought that was the most unfortunate thing. And I looked at her very kind, and, again, she was not a rude lady, but her actions spoke worse than her own, her own, demeanor. And I just said, I can't help you then, I'm sorry, we couldn't make a deal, yada yada. And she that was it. Maybe she went somewhere else, I don't know. But my point is, that's a disease to me. I mean, my two vehicles are a 1968 Ford Falcon 4-door car that I painted with a brush years ago. I painted with a paint roller that you'd paint a house with. and the friggin' thing just still runs, and it's a classic car. So that's my whole life is old cars. So I've wanted, it's car is very special to me. A lot of people I love and care about rode in the car, and it has a great story. And I have a commuter car, a 1986 Dodge K car. That's more like my beat around, good on gas car. And that's what I got. And the thing is, if you got the right mindset, you could make any car cool. And that's my sermon today, if you will. You know, um, it's not the car, it's the driver. And I can't agree with that statement enough because it applies to so many things. Music, art, dancing, writing, uh, performing, speaking publicly, being a good person, being a person that just is social. It's not about image. You can have the nicest things, the nicest house, the nicest clothes. If you're not in the right mindset, if you're not a social, a socially apt person that understands basic values, none of that shit matters. None of it matters, and it's almost like every morning we reset in this society to start thinking about these things because we're just pre-wired. What does this person think? What is this person? And I can guarantee you that the more, I don't mean stop giving a fuck in the sense like not shower and not have clean, nice clothes, but not giving the fuck in the sense that understand, have a brief, tiny realization in the back 40 acres of your mind that life is not infinite. And at the end of the day, it is a big human joke in a way. We're all just vibrating through life. And I mean, you can look at a guy with the seat all the way down in the car, blasting music, with his sunglasses leaning. We all know that guy. We all know that person. And just be like, listen, what is it all about? Like, the lady behind him in the Grand Marquis is getting to her destination just the same. And it's just all about, self-fulfillment. It's about how you feel about yourself. And I can't stress that enough. So you have to just kind of realize that life is more or less, it's not infinite. And it's okay to laugh at ourselves sometimes. Hey, this is my shit box. This is my first car. And I'm just using the car as a catalyst to just, exclamate my point is that it leads to more, how should I say, important social skills. Kindness is one of them. The less you take yourself so seriously that you have to work on your image through material things, you start to lose. You're losing already. If you come out of the hole thinking that I need to make this fake it till I make it image of cars and this and the rest will come. No. It's the other way around. You could be a pauper, homeless, living on the streets, but if you have character, if you have this drive to meet people and just be a good hearted person and know how to laugh at life when you're down and enjoy it and savor it when you start to be on the upswing, that's wealth. That's wealth. It has nothing to do with money. Money is the poker chips. And when you die, those chips go to somebody else that's playing the game. And maybe some people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. So the riches of life is not the mansion. It's the guy on the dry dock watching the curve of the sky with a bologna sandwich. I'm Matt. This is Matt's Auto Repair podcast and music session. And I hope you enjoyed this segment. God bless, be well, be safe, and again, treat each other with as much kindness as you can, because that's the universal healer right there. Be well. Signing off.